Hello YouTube and welcome to Katrinka LOL. And today I have a vlog. I want to talk about an experience that I've had recently. I want to start off with saying that I've been driving for about 50 years. So why would I take driving lessons? Well, here's why. About 9 years ago or so, I got into an accident, and I've had limited driving since then. And so basically, I would just drive maybe 5 minutes away from the house, and that's about all I could do. And it was very limiting for me because I was used to the freedom of just being able to jump in the car and go where I wanted to go. And in my younger days, I drove from New York to Colorado all by myself, and then from Colorado back to New York all by myself. So I can drive, and I enjoyed that. So this was, it was kind of sad for me to kind of lose that ability. And also I kind of felt like a burden, because other people had to drive me if it was anything more than 5 minutes from the house. So when Mr. LOL went out of town during the time that Pippin was recovering from his major surgery, and if you don't know that story, go to my community page and there's a bunch of comments there from me, updates on how Pippin was doing. But anyway, Mr. LOL went out of town, and I kind of panicked because if I needed to bring him into the emergency, what would I do? So that was a wake-up call for me, that I really needed to address this driving situation. So I thought about it and did some research online. How do you get over this driving anxiety? And it said to drive. Yeah, I was doing that, but not as far as I wanted to go or wherever I wanted to go, just a few minutes down the road. So I came up with this idea. What if I called up a driving school and asked them if they could help me out? So I looked online, did some research, and it said absolutely that driving lessons could help you to get over this driving anxiety. So thankfully, I had been driving a little bit because in my research it said it takes about 20 hours of driving to get over that initial hump there, so that you can get better and better with time. And so I had already been driving a little bit, so I had logged some hours, and my driving instructor told me that I already had some hours under my belt from doing the little driving that I was doing. So I had trepidation for the first lesson because it was a 2-hour lesson. I thought, I'm used to being in the car for 5 minutes, so how am I going to do this? But I was like, I've got to do it. I just have to get over this. So I did it. And so I got in the car and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get through 2 hours, but here we go. And the instructor that I had was very calm, very patient, and I told him my story, and he understood. And this particular school has this problem that they help people with driving anxiety all the time. So I felt very good about about this. So anyway, on the first lesson, the instructor said, how do you feel about going on the highway? And I was like, are you kidding? I was like, no. So after I had driven around a little bit, I was like, okay, I'll try it, you know. And I have not been on the highway with me driving for almost a decade. That's ridiculous to hear myself say that. So anyway, I went onto the highway, and you know, with having the instructor there and the comfort of that, I got through that, and I was fine. There was no, you know, hyperventilating or anything like that going on. I felt calm, just a little anxious, but nothing major. So I got through the 2 hours, and it kind of flew by, and I was given homework that I had to drive every day. So what I did between lesson 1 and lesson 2 was I came up with a destination where I would drive, you know. So I had, there was something to do, you know. It wasn't just driving aimlessly. So I came up with a destination, and I went to the destination, and I spent about 30 to 45 minutes in the car driving by myself every day between lesson 1 and lesson 2. So then I had lesson 2. And so I asked the instructor, I told him, you know, that I had been doing my homework and everything. And he said, well, you have driving skills. You can drive. You know, it's just you have to build up your confidence now. So he was so encouraging. I mean, it just really helped. It was just so healing, you know, rather than having a nervous person or someone, you know, screaming in the passenger seat. It was just all calm, and it was all good. So he said, you know, I think you'll be okay. I was like, oh, so I'm graduating already. So yes, after 2 lessons, 2-hour lessons, I graduated from driving school. So now I'm back being able to drive, and I just have to build up my confidence so that the anxiety, although it's not at a high level anymore, it's at a lower level, and hopefully it will just disappear, and I'll enjoy driving like I used to once again. So that's my driving story, and my driving school story. And I wanted to let you know that the accident that I had was not my fault. And it was not a good situation. I was waiting at a light. There were a line of cars in front of me. There were a line of cars behind me. And so I was kind of trapped. There was no way to move anywhere. And I heard screeching behind me. And then I heard bang, and it was bang, bang, bang. And the car behind me was pushed into me, and so that's what happened. It was pretty traumatizing. So, but at least it wasn't my fault, which I don't know. When you're in a situation it's not your fault and you couldn't have done anything about it, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, which is worse, you know. So, so that's my story, my driving story, my driving school story, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next video.